this episode of the Great American Brew Trail, we're hitting the beach. 2 beaches, in fact, Ludington and Saugatuck.
In Saugatuck, you can take a delicious drive that will take you to the places that the locals like to go. And one of the stops on that drive that both locals and visitors love is Saugatuck Brewing Company. My name is Amy Sherman. I'm a chef, I'm a mom, and I'm a beer drinker. Shocking, I know. That's right, I'm a girl who really likes beer. Out of the way, boys. What are we drinking? I mean, why wouldn't I drink beer? As a chef, I love the variety of local ingredients, and I appreciate what it takes to create a great beer. In fact, I've been a home brewer for years. All across the United States, microbreweries are popping up with plenty of atmosphere, plenty of local foods, and of course, plenty of beer. We'll see the ins and outs and the ups and downs behind the taps at some of the country's best microbreweries. So join me on the Great American Brew Trail as I taste my way across the USA, one pint at a time. Today we are in beautiful Saugatuck, Michigan, which is known for being an artsy town, as well as for having one of the most beautiful beaches in the country, Oval Beach. But Oval Beach isn't just a beach, it's also a beer. Oval Beach Blonde, that you can try at Saugatuck Brewing Company, and it's a great way to spend the afternoon in Saugatuck.
Saugatuck is a wonderful resort town. We have a very diversified community of full-time and part-time summer residents as well. And that combination is what really makes it special. On top of that, we also have a huge influx of people in the summer from all over the Midwest, and actually all over the world for that matter. We have a wonderful art community, we have wonderful beer here, a great arts program and theater program, and it all just comes together, and we have a heck of a good time.
I love visiting all these small tourist towns on the coast of Lake Michigan, but sometimes I want to know the insiders' takes on these little towns. So this is where David from Hungry Village Tours comes in. What do you do on a Hungry Village tour?
Hungry Village Tours is a wonderful experience. So we have a culinary walking tour and a delicious drive.
Ooh, that sounds great.
It's a lot of fun.
Take my word for it, a delicious drive is the insider's way to see Saugatuck, and well worth it. And now to one of the stops on the drive, Saugatuck Brewing Company.
After a day at the beach and shopping for some unique art, I'm going to make a great stop on the trail right here at Saugatuck Brewing Company. They're one of the fastest growing microbreweries, and they have headliners like ESB Amber, Pier Cove Porter, and the very appropriately named Oval Beach Blonde.
I am drinking the Oval Beach Blonde. Love it. It's light, crispy, goes perfect with my Georgia Reuben.
I had a wonderful Cobb salad and a nice cold pasta salad with fresh veggies. Both were delicious.
I have the perch po' boy, which is just phenomenal. They make their own fries and the perch is perfect. And my husband had pulled pork, but everything on the menu is really good.
Chef at the brewery is you just get to cook with beer all day, so cooking with beer is definitely a plus, and it just gives it that flavor that you can't pick out because you're just not used to it.
Pairing food with beer, cooking with beer, even using the spent grain in their dishes. Saugatuck Brewing is all about great beer food. One of their specials, spent grain zucchini fritters. Spent grain is the leftover grain from the brewing process. It's sweet, chewy, and nutty. The chef takes the grain and adds yummy secret ingredients like Creole dust and sambuca, along with more pedestrian items like celery and zucchini. Rolled in panko breadcrumbs and deep fried, and as we know, everything is better deep fried. These deep fried balls of love pair great with any of the Saugatuck beers. And with a menu like Saugatuck's, there are plenty of options for pairing beer and food. From seafood to local pulled pork to great desserts paired with local gelato made with beer, you're sure to find something to match that great beer that they're making. Head brewer Ron must be doing something right because Saugatuck Brewing is growing like crazy.
When I first started, I think we did just under 1,000 barrels. Last year we did almost 2,000. This year we'll be at 4,200 barrels.
Oh my gosh, you're doubling every year.
Next year we want to hit 8,000. So
holy cow.
We got more tanks coming next month, and when I first started we had 70 barrels per fermenter space. We're up to 250. and we're adding 80 more, so we'll be at 330 barrels. So
Wow, that's a lot.
It's a big climb.
Great growth in a great industry. Michigan beer is the best, no matter who you ask.
What do you think of the craft beer scene in Michigan?
The craft beer scene is amazing. I mean, I never really knew it. I came up here and driving around town and going to different locations and stuff, I just couldn't believe it. And it's usually, in Jacksonville, we really don't have microbreweries, and the breweries we have are not that good.
I'm a big fan of the IPAs and especially the dry hopped IPAs where they got a lot of floral flavors.
I'm drinking an Oval Beach Blonde. A, it's a delicious beer, and B, Oval Beach is probably the most beautiful beach in the country.
I'm drinking the Singapore IPA. It's really good. It's not overly hoppy.
Michigan, growing up, my father, he worked for General Motors for 45 years, and you guys used to build really great cars here. Now you build really great beer.
Coming up next, see what Saugatuck Brewery has that no other brewery in Michigan does.
What's not to love at Williams Kitchen and Bath?
Do you always find yourself looking for more cabinet space? Does it feel like you need more room for all the chefs in your house? If so, it's time to visit Williams Kitchen and Bath. Williams offers the best selection from top cabinet makers. Stop in today and experience the Williams difference.
What's not to love at Williams Kitchen and Bath?
At Saugatuck Brewing, all the signs point to a good beer. This friendly roadhouse has lots of beers to choose from, like the Pier Cove Porter or the Singapore IPA. But one of the coolest things about this brewery is that you can be your own brewmaster and make your very own batch of beer to take home. And don't worry, Dexter will guide you every step of the way.
Well, here at Saugatuck Brewing Company, we have the only brew-your-own beer facility here in Southwest Michigan.
So you mean I can come in here, brew up a batch of how much beer?
About 13 gallons.
That's a lot of beer.
Yeah, we guarantee you'll get 60 22-ounce bombers, and usually you end up a little more than that. We call it bonus beer, but we know you'll get 60.
Bonus beer? It's a bonus just getting to make your own beer here. And having a veteran brewer like Dexter guiding me through the process makes it much more easy. Now, I may be a blonde, make a blonde, but you can choose any style you want.
We can do just about anything, primarily ales, and we can make custom recipes with our customers. We can take an existing style and tweak it to your taste. Sky's the limit, pretty much.
Nice, I like it. And what kind of groups come in and brew beer? Is it all men? Is it all home brewers?
It's everybody and everything. We have grandparents with grandchildren. We have husbands and wives. I've done bachelorette parties, bachelor parties, college kids, the whole kit and caboodle. It's a lot of fun.
Dexter will help you through each step of the process, from tasting your way through Saugatuck beer to decide your style, to determining your recipe, to tasting a Pier Cove Porter, to milling the grain, sampling another beer, mashing in, trying another stout, sparging, drinking some more beers. You get the picture. All the way through the process until it's time to bottle your beer.
Well, our first step is to decide what they want to make, which usually involves a little bit of beer tasting at the bar.
Oh, that's tough. And seeing what their flavor profile is. And
Correct.
Okay, so once you come up with what you're going to brew, then what happens?
The next step would be to gather our recipe, and we go to the back room where the grains are stored, and we'd select the grains for that specific recipe. We have the customers weigh out the grains, we mill the grains, and then we bring them back up to our brew system up here in our restaurant, and they mash in.
Brewing your own beer is awesome with a group of friends and family. How cool would it be to show up at Christmas with your own bottled beer?
Tell me a little bit about this brew system, because it is beautiful.
Yeah, thank you.
And really cool and different.
Yeah, it is. This is about a 25-year-old system. It was actually made in Canada. It was our original brew system. When we first opened approximately 9 years ago in our smaller facility, this was making maybe 300 barrels of beer for us each year, bottling one 22-ounce bottle at a time.
Making beer is almost as much fun as drinking it. And at Saugatuck, you can do both at the same time or just show up and enjoy all of their hard work. No matter what your style, blonde or not, and no matter what the season, the pub is always a fun time.
Number one, I like that they have live music here because that helps me, and I think it's awesome when you have beer and live music. It goes hand in hand.
Maggie's Irish Ale. It's a fine Irish beer, very tasty, quenches your thirst after a long bike ride.
I'm drinking the stout. It's the, which one is it?
Boathouse.
Boathouse stout, thank you. And I like it a lot. It's low alcohol content so that I can keep drinking it all day long, and yet it's got a great taste. Similar to Guinness, but a little bit more richer.
I'm drinking the English style bitter amber ale, which is delicious. It was recommended to be paired with my Georgia Turkey Reuben, and they hit the mark.
I got the ESB Amber. It's world-class winner from the Frankenmuth Festival. The beer's a little bit earlier while this year, so an award winner, you can't really go wrong with that.
One of my favorites is basically, it depends on what time of year. In the summer, I'm pretty much of an IPA, pale ale type drinker. In the winter, I kind of lean more towards the heavier stouts. Our Pure Coat Porter is a very, very nice dark porter.
Mm-hmm.
And again, sometimes I'll just whip up something kind of goofy up here and see how it comes out.
Your own personal brew that you...
Yeah, we do a lot of that. We have 15 taps here, so we have a great beer selection, good variety.
So you have your bigger beers that you're brewing in the back on the big equipment, but you also have sometimes on tap these small batches.
Correct.
Interesting. That would be a really cool thing to have because those are never going to be available in a bottle.
Don't never say never.
Now.
Don't ever say never, but yeah, in theory, correct.
So whether you come to sample some of Dexter's experiments or you want to experiment yourself on professional brewing equipment, you can do both at Saugatuck Brewing Company. After a hot day on Oval Beach, swing in and enjoy great food, music, and beer. Or pick up a six-pack of this fast-growing brewery at your local party store to enjoy on the beach or not. So join me next time on the Great American Brew Trail as I taste my way across the USA, one pint at a time.
It'd be a little hard to get one out of there, wouldn't it?
It would be. I mean, how do you do that? I'm bobbing for blueberries.
That's true. Problem is with the strong ones, I never finish cutting my grass.
Right. You guys wear these shirts. They have a logo on the back.
Helping Michigan's economy one beer at a time.
Have you ever heard of Jerry Garcia?
Oh yeah. No, never. People always call me that.
Perfect. And you'll brew your way, right?
Yep.
And I drink my way across the USA.